Supermemory, genius, or outstanding are the beautiful words people use to describe him. That outstanding person had to go to prison, but later escaped twice and was sentenced to death. Finally, he escaped the death sentence right at the moment of preparation for execution. This unbelievable but true story is about Li Hongdao, a unique monk, the only person who truly escaped the death sentence of the billion-people country of China. Did not rely on any tricks, but based on his own talent and genius in his way of thinking. You are watching The Real Case. If you like our videos, don't forget to click like, subscribe to encourage our spirit. Li Hongdao was born in 1966 in Hubei Province, China. Dao was born into a family with normal circumstances, both of whose parents were intellectuals at that time, so Dao's academic achievements under his parents' education were always excellent. At the age of 14, Dao won second prize in the National Math Competition for Excellent Students, and in 1980 also received the title of National Tutor. 4 years later, in 1984, he passed the entrance exam for the electronics department of Triet-Jiang University and always achieved the highest academic achievement. Theoretically speaking, at this time, young men in their prime, graduating from key national universities, will definitely find a good job, and if they know how to advance, they can apply their knowledge. If you follow the right path, your future life path will definitely be gloriously developed. After graduating, he moved to Kunming City with his girlfriend and was assigned to work in a state-owned enterprise with very good benefits. The two people's lives gradually stabilized, and the time was ripe for them to get married not long after. The long slide of a genius who had a nice, quiet life. But Dao is not satisfied with the boring trajectory. He does not want to experience the peaceful life that many people dream of, where every day is the same. So in married life, he gradually lost interest. He began to seek stimulation by spending every day outside having fun with strange women, even having an affair with a female student without paying attention to his wife. When the incident was revealed, the couple argued fiercely, causing Dao to no longer be interested in her love life, and even develop the thought of boring with life and boring with people. Dao treats his wife coldly, often goes out to play and doesn't care about anything anymore, and has more days off than work days. Because of playing around for such a long time, Li Hongdao spent a lot. He spent countless amounts of money playing around, and when he saw that the family's remaining money was dwindling and uncontrollable, he starts seriously thinking about whether there is a way to make money quickly. Li Hongdao is truly an extremely talented person, if not for his personality. So finding a job is too easy, but Hongdao doesn't want to work for someone else. Firstly, because it earns little money and is too slow. The second is the feeling of being bound by others and having to follow their orders. Therefore, Hongdao came up with an idea to open a company. However, he is aware that if he wants to open a company, he will need a huge amount of money. Criminal history. Li Hongdao graduated with a major in electronics. At that time, he was considered an extremely rare talent in a country of billions of people, doing very in-depth research on electronic devices and seals. Therefore, in 1990, he used his expertise to copy the seal of a large company. At that time, in China, banks only accepted seals without accepting people. Hongdao just relied on this point, and his seal was faked to the point where it looked more real than the real thing. From the account of that large company, 80,000 yuan was taken out, a huge number at that time. Indeed, the Peach is very talented and managed to defraud such a large amount of money when he committed his first crime. Seeing how easy it is to make money, the desire to send karma will surely be thrown aside. He continues to scam. However, this time he was discovered by the bank director to have suspicious details in the contract. So the new bank accepted someone who didn't bother to accept the stamp anymore. They suspected that Dao was a fake, so they reported it to the police. Just 2 days after being arrested, handcuffs certainly could not have been difficult for a criminal with such a high IQ and education. Dao managed to open the handcuffs and fled from the police station while the police were having dinner on April 18, 1992. A criminal easily escaped from prison, and the police sat from the house to the alley like that, making the government very embarrassed. Mobilize all forces to arrest Li Hongdao. Escape journey with your intelligence to predict the police's next action, and understand the logic that the most dangerous place is the safest place. Therefore, he did not bother to run anymore, but directly hid on the roof of his house. After the police had left, they went into the house a few times to get a homemade electronic repair kit. Then, seeing that everything had calmed down, they sat on the train to leave Kunming to go to Guiyang. However, while on the run from the police, Dao did not bother to keep his whereabouts secret and continued to commit crimes as soon as he arrived in Quidong. On April 26, 1992, his target at that time was an imported Audi car that had a luxury value, and the whole city had less than 5 of them. Seeing the car parked on the side of the road, Dao was immediately fascinated. Don't use sticks and rocks to break the window and steal the car like other ordinary thieves. Dao quietly waited for the owner of the car at the corner of the street for 5 hours, then let him proactively approach and start a conversation with the car owner, showing that he was very knowledgeable about the car's functions, and even borrowed the key to take a look. Within just half a minute, the Peach had memorized the size and gear structure of the key. That night, he made another identical key based on his memory. In the middle of the night, he went to the car owner's house according to the address he found out during the conversation, calmly and easily drove away in the Audi parked outside. After a few days of driving, I got bored, so I abandoned the car after reaching Nanning City, Guangxi. During the next month, Dao was no longer interested in expensive cars, but had the audacity to steal a police car and drive back to Kunming. At this time, he was wanted by Kunming police, but still wanted to return to his old place just because he missed his young lover. While on a date with his lover at the university campus on June 19, 1992, he was surrounded by police and arrested. After being arrested, he opened up about his escape because the area involved was so large that it took the police 2 months to verify. During this time, Dao felt bored because he was locked up in the detention camp. Beginning to find a way to regain his composure, he studied the structure of the detention camp and prepared for his second escape. Because he was a fugitive from the police station, the police paid special attention and every action was monitored. Dao recently incited 2 inmates to dig through the thin wall of the cell in just 4 days. At the same time, Dao intentionally approached the prison officer to find an opportunity to observe the prison key on the prison officer's person, then engrave it on the bamboo stick. Thanks to that, he successfully escaped from prison on the evening of November 16, 1992. But his 2 accomplices were not lucky enough to escape from the patrolling police after escaping. Dao recently fled to Liuzhou City, Guangxi Province, stole a Peugeot with a fake key, but then discovered the car was broken and did not give up the car he liked. Dao just pretended to be the car's owner and asked a passerby to help him push the car to the repair shop, only to discover that the car's starter was broken. At that time, cars often used motors with carbon brushes, which would wear out over time, and after finding the cause, the shop owner only needed to replace the motor and the car could run normally. After hearing the words of the car repair shop owner, he changed his mind and came up with the idea of building a brushless motor. Overcoming the disadvantages of current brushed motors. To carry out his idea, Dao chose prison as a research place because here he wouldn't have to worry about being forced to eat and wear clothes by the police all day, and no one would bother him anymore. A few days later, he deliberately revealed his tracks so the police could find him. Arrested for the 3rd time on December 8, 1992. Reform the evil and correct it. Previously, brushless motors were monopolized by Japanese technology. Chinese companies are limited by patent rights. If we could invent our own brushless motor, it would bring many benefits to the country. After considering the feasibility, Kunming police leaders broke with tradition and approved Dao's request, providing him with a simple laboratory. But before the new engine was invented, Dao was put on trial and sentenced to death for fraud, theft, and escape from prison. On November 19, after the appeal court in December 1993, the court approved Dao's death sentence. The sentence will be executed in just 7 days. While waiting for the sentence to be executed, Dao continued to research and record documents with the hope that there would be a successor after his death. Seeing Dao's efforts, the prison leaders reported to their superiors to provide him with adequate experimental facilities without handcuffs, and at the same time invited a number of experts to provide guidance. On December 31, 1993, just before his execution, Dao's experiment was successful. The prison director immediately wrote a report requesting a halt to Dao's execution and sent it directly to the Kunming City Police Department. Approved by the director and promptly submitted to the People's Court of Hunan Province. The court also accepted approval after deliberation and successfully produced China's first brushless excitation motor. Although it cannot completely replace Japanese brushless motors, Peach has helped push China's level in this field to a new level. His death sentence was changed to a suspended death sentence by the court on March 16, 1995. In the same year, the brushless excitation motor invented by Dao won the gold prize of the 5th China Invention Exhibition and first place in the Outstanding Invention Competition of Hunan Province. December 25, 1997, his sentence was changed from death to 17 years in prison. July 25, 2000. Peach received 3 patents for patents and 3 patents for utility models and was further reduced by 2 years in prison. On July 1, 2002, Dao's sentence was reduced by 1.5 years, and in 2009 Li Hongdao was released. Later, many of Li Hongdao's inventions were applied and put into practice. He was considered the first generation of outstanding young people in the reform period of the whole country of China. In addition, based on the experience of escaping from prison twice, Li Hongdao also designed an electronic technology monitoring system to help improve the security index of all prisons. Through this rare story, we can see that human intelligence and talent, if used in the right place at the right time, will help themselves and society. If you live honestly, you will definitely receive many blessings. Through the story, we also hope that all of us can live a truly meaningful life. No matter how much or how little, whether you are ordinary or talented, whether poor or rich, just live your life to the fullest and help the world. We believe that God will not disappoint you. Do you think this guy is a naughty genius? Please leave your comments below in the comment section with us. Thank you very much.